An update, guys, to the situation with Generation Z. Okay, and generations in general. But anyway, before I do, let me get to this core. I'm 26. But here's the thing, everyone keeps calling me old, but dude, no one's old until you hit 65. Truth is, no one's old until you hit 65. That's when you're old. So don't keep calling people who are young old, because us young people, we're not old until we hit 65. But anyway, it's not even about that. This is about generations in general. That no one actually knows when any generation started or ended. I've been finding a lot of sources saying different years. I don't know what any source is saying now because I haven't checked for a while, but the last time I checked was like half of a year ago, and they kept saying 1994 through 2009 was Generation Z, then 1994 was Millennial, and then in 1994 was Generation Z and Millennial. So basically, no one knows when it started or ended. Actually, does anyone even know when a generation even started or ended? I mean, let's be real. All the things that we're getting are made from human beings that were alive this time of the years, you know? They weren't born back in 1800s, 1700s, 1600s. So no one knows when those years actually started any generation, because back then there was a lot of years. So basically, if you think about it, that means we'll be in generation whatever year, because reality is they had been starting over new every single, because there's only 24 to 26 to 28 letters in the alphabet. So if you think about it, that means it's going to be a lot of times that generation A and Z and B were already used. Like, how many damn times? I don't know. So no one knows when a generation started or ended, because we weren't born back then. So how would we even know when or what year started a generation? Just think about it, guys. We don't know. We really don't know. So when people say your generation Y or your generation Z or whatever generation, no, we don't know, because there's also sources say different years. You know what I mean? Basically, Generation Y was started in 1977. Oh no, wait. Then they said 1980. Oh wait. Then they said 1976. Oh wait. Then they said 1982. Oh wait. And then they said 1981. Like, what year did it really start? Then 1994 was supposed to be Generation Y. Then, Generation Y. Then it said Generation Z. Like, what year started any generation? We would never know. I'm not being hateful. I'm just saying to the truth, telling everybody that we don't know what year started the generation. We don't know what year ended generations. Because if you think about it, we will never know. Because I've seen like 20 different sources say Generation Z started in 1994. Some say 1993. Some say 1995. Some say 1996. Some say 1999. Some say 1998. Some say 1997. Some say 2000. We don't really know, because they keep changing the years on different sources. So it's hearsay, you know? To be honest, I don't think I'm a millennial, because I don't remember anything precisely until 2000 to now. Basically, let's just say all the other years were just a blur to me. So I was never really alive when all of this other stuff was born before me. Now, only ones that would remember it would be the ones that actually were alive and actually older than me that would remember most of it. I don't remember anything. I only remember 20 years of my life, and that's weird. The rest of the years were a blur. I don't remember anything from 1995, 1994, 1996, 1997, 1998. I think I could remember something in 1999, but it was at the end, maybe close to 2000. So I remember anything from 2000 to now, basically beginning of 2000 to the end of the beginning of 2000 until now. You know what I mean? So basically, I was like 5.5 years old when I started remembering things. You know what I mean? So yeah, when people say, "Oh, you Generation Y," but like, I don't have anything in common with most of those people in Generation Y. I really don't. I mostly use a lot of technology shit that was used in Generation Z, like YouTube, Netflix, all this other bullshit. That's YouTube, Netflix, Twitter, Instagram, the phones, the cell phones. Like, I remember all of that, because when I was a kid, I was never really into all that stuff. Basically, the old stuff, because when I wasn't allowed to anyway, I started actually using shit when I was like 13, 12 years old. So if you think about it, I'm kind of Generation Z because I have that in common with all of them. I had a MySpace, but that doesn't count because almost everyone had a MySpace. So yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a Generation Y because Generation Y would remember all of the old shit that was created before Generation Z started, with the MySpace, Facebook, Instagram, because I was all started in Generation Z, not Generation Y, Generation Z. So when you think about it, I'm Generation Z because I remember precisely all that stuff. Now, you can all argue with me and say I'm not Generation Z, some will say I'm Generation Y, some will say I'm Generation Z, some will say I'm both, which, who cares? You guys can say whatever you want, but my belief is I'm Generation Z because 1994 through now, or 2009, 2010, would be Generation Z because reality is that's when it started. Then my kids would be Generation A, then their kids would be Generation, well, whatever generation. I don't even know. I don't even consider generations no more because it's stupid. It's dumb now. The generations are all out of whack anyway. Like, all generations are all out of whack anyway, so I wouldn't say anything anymore. Actually, I need to stop talking about it because I would never know. No one knows. I don't know. You don't know. No one knows. Basically, anyone who's alive right now would not know what year ended a generation or what started a generation. So, when it comes to it, should I get mad? No. But I wanted to make this little update telling you guys that because my old video, it was kind of quiet and my phone was sucky. So at that time, my talking was really quiet, so you couldn't really hear it. But you know what I was talking about, though. But this is my update to that video, even though you couldn't hear that video. But you can hear this one. So I wanted to make an update to it. But this time, saying that no one knows when generation started or ended. No one knows. I mean, not even scientists and the history people wouldn't even know because those people that you're seeing talking about it was born in 1900s, like 1960s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and to now. So basically, the new people would not really know what started the year or ended the year because we weren't born back in 1950s, 40s, 30s, 20s, 10s, 1800s, 1700s. So we wouldn't even know. We don't even know when to pinpoint what year started or ended a generation. We just can't pinpoint it because we weren't born in there. And basically, it's really hard now because if you think about it, all the generations are kind of confusing each other now because, all of the shit that's going on with it's just confusing. And there's some young people that already have kids that are young. They have kids of their own and the kids are close to their age, it's like, it doesn't match up, you know what I mean? And you got some parents that actually had a kid when they were like 11. And if you think about it, that means the parents are 11 years older than their son or daughter. So it's really weird. So it doesn't really match up. The generations are confusing now because of that one reason. So when it comes to it, we will never know when it started or ended. I don't know. You don't know. No one knows. Like, I can keep talking about this over and over. But to anybody who wants to disagree with me, you can. If anybody wants to agree with me, you can. But I'm going to say this straight up. You that disagree with me and the people that agree with me and we all don't really know. We can all argue about it back and forth, but we will never know when a year ended or started. So, started a generation, None of us will never know. You know what I mean? It's life. We're never going to know the real truth. Everything that we see is half the truth. We don't know the whole truth, and we never will know the whole truth because reality is if we knew the whole truth, that wouldn't make any sense. Why would we need to know the whole truth? You know what I mean? So when it comes down to it, I will never know when a generation started or ended. I will never know what generation I'm really in. I could say I'm Generation Y, I could say I'm Generation Z, but I will never know because reality is I don't have anything in common with Generation Y, but I do have a lot in common with Generation Z. But then again, I don't know. It's just confusing. You know what I mean? Let me just say this. If anybody hates this, you can. I don't care. I love you all. And like I said, Generation Z will never know what started or ended the year of Generation Z. So, Anyway, love you all. See you guys in the next video.